We're talking to Mark in Maryland. We're going to go to Lee in Chicago, Chris in Iowa, Eric in Illinois, and more. But first, I want to discuss this. We discussed ICANN, but you were mentioning another organization and the threats that these guys present. So please go ahead.
Yeah. Well, Jason, first, I was the owner of an internet service for over 12 years, and I finally sold out to Verizon. And I was also one of the original contributors to the third generation of domain name service code. So I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. And ICANN stands for Internet Corporation of Assigned Names and Numbers. So they assign both names and numbers. And the other corporation that does this is also IANA, Internet Assigned Numbers Authority. Now, the problem here is these are the people who control the top part of the Internet. They control your domain name registration. They control the numbers resources. In other words, who can be an ISP, who can be a phone company, whatever. They also control the ASN numbers, autonomous system numbers. That's the ability or the security number that's required for routers to talk between each other. And the last thing they do is they assign protocol assignment. Let's say you're a software programmer and you've developed a new application, but you need a protocol written or a protocol number assigned to it, and they're the guys that handle all this. So literally, they control the applications, they control the routing, they control the IP address assignments, and they control the domain name systems. Now, currently, the way it stands, these are independently owned nonprofit companies, but even as far back as 2004, as global organizations sometimes can be, these guys were extortionists. They were starting to charge outrageous fees for their services. But that kind of got under control. But you let the government get in here, and let's say the feds walk into your office. Right now, it's a major undertaking, legal undertaking, for them to take away your domain name services. They walk into your office, and if they wanted to shut you off right now, they couldn't do it. They'd have to file a bunch of lawsuits, file to ICANN, and file to IANA, and it would take a couple of days for it to be taken down. But you let the federal government get in here, and they walk into your office and they want to take you out right now, pick up the phone and call ICANN, and boom, your root level domain is off.
Now, what happens in September 2009? Can they literally just re-regulate to any kind of pricing system they want?
Well, yes, they actually can. I'm at the site right now looking. I was actually a little bit out of the loop because, like I said, I have retired. I did sell the company. There is some things going on that look pretty serious on the surface. But I think what they're doing is they're just trying to reorganize the fee schedules. Like I said, they're extortionists. The people who the ISPs are paying these people for IP addresses, and they're paying for root level access. And you were talking about the potential for having Infowars.Infowars. Right now, that's unrealistic, but not impossible because of the overhead that would be required and the modifications. But it's not impossible for root-level domains for that to happen. But
well, I think those root-level domains are going to switch over in the next 2 months. I read the story on, I want to say 2 weeks ago. It was in Routers, and I hadn't heard about it, and I'm a big tech junkie and whatever. I'm always on these little sites and trying to find stuff out. But they basically said most people weren't in the know that you would be able to change your dot extension to anything you wanted very shortly. So I'm not sure how they're going to regulate that either. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to be able to call up and say, I want every domain name .Nike. I'm sure Nike's going to have a problem with that. So I don't know enough about how the system works, and that's why I'm hoping people write articles, writers at Infowars and articles at Infowars. But this does seem pretty semi-serious if they can, like you said, extort people for any amount of money they want based on what domain name you choose to use.
Well, that's based on what they're already doing, and ISPs have pretty much accepted it. But, as far as domain name registration, that's going to change. It's going to get more expensive. We've always known that. But you let the government get in here, and they're going to charge anything they want just to put you out of business if they want to, or just turn it off arbitrarily.
Great points. I thank you so much for the call. On the other side, we're going to play this Colbert Grove clip that we played last night. If you missed it last night, great time to hear it tonight. And if you haven't seen it, you can actually watch the clip if you don't have a PrisonPlanet.tv membership over at theinfowarrior.com. Back after this.